You already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, good morning and welcome. Super Bowl Saturday in Rochester, New York. Yes, indeed, it's finally arrived. Saturday, September 21st, the dream child of Deputy Police Chief Keith Stitz has finally arrived. The stadium looking great. The field, the markers, the clock is on. We're here for HBCU Football Classic. We're broadcasting live, as we always do each and every Saturday morning from the Rock Pawnbroker Studios. But we always take it on the road sometimes, some weeks as well. This week we're on the road. We're here at Rochester Sports Complex, 465 Oak Street. Man, I'm telling you, the smell of barbecue hit me when I got out my car in the media parking lot. I got out the car, first thing was the aroma of barbecue. It's going to be a throwdown here today. The vendors are all setting up all over the other side, the opposite side of where the press box is located, the side with the bleachers and everything on that side. People are out there, the caterers, the vendors. Hey, we even got some vendors, I think some unlicensed vendors down the street. I almost stopped and bought something from those cats, man. They must have been up since 2 a.m. getting that big display set up down the street there at Brown Street as you're coming down. Man, it strikes very well of a Super Bowl atmosphere here in Rochester, New York for the upcoming football game. The tailgate party starts in less than an hour at 9 a.m. The DJs, everybody's getting their equipment set. The vendors are getting all their food and supplies set. They're almost ready to go. 9 a.m., tailgate party, 9 to noon. Then 1 p.m., we'll have the official kickoff of the first annual Frederick Douglass Baldwin Richardson Club Football HBCU Football Classic between Central State Marauders versus the Albany State Rams. It's going to be a good one. Come on out. Hey, and the Battle of the Bands is the 5th quarter after the game. If it's anything like I saw yesterday at East High School, hey, Albany State Rams came all the way from Georgia. I don't think they're coming here to lose. They turned the place out. Out over there at East High School yesterday afternoon with their performance. Central State did the same thing over at Edison Tech. They turned that school out with their play, and to see all those young black kids playing instruments, playing and throwing down to the music that they love and enjoy. I had to get an interpreter for some of those songs that they were the Nicki Minaj song. I didn't know that one. I didn't know a couple other ones they were throwing down on. But man, those young people can play. It's going to be a beautiful sight. Come on out. Tickets are still available. Eventbrite. Stop by Eventbrite. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Online. Get your tickets online at Eventbrite. They're at the gate. If you're out early now, come by. If you talk to Keith Stitt, Deputy Chief Keith Stitt nicely, he may sell you some tickets right here at the gate because it is over at the gate right now for the next hour. Come on through. Buy those tickets from those guys right here. Or the easy way, go to Eventbrite. Get your $25 tickets. Bring your entire family out. It's a family atmosphere. It's going to be a great time. Come on out and enjoy yourself. Next up, Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, man, what a hell of a game last week. We're moving into Monday Night Football once again. We go out to the old stadium on a Monday night, one way in, one way out. That means we won't get home until 2 a.m, but that's a whole nother thing. The Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Should be a good contest. Matter of fact, we have a comment from Sean McDermott. Let's hear from Sean McDermott and hear what Sean McDermott has to say about the previous game, the Miami Dolphin victory, and see what some of the questions I had to ask Sean McDermott right here on Real Deal Sports Show.
Sure. Excuse me 1 second.
A couple questions for you. With the linebacker position, one thing I noticed already, there were only 2 300-yard passers this past Sunday, and you're seeing more and more teams going to the running game. Do you see the position of the middle linebacker going back to taller guys, to bigger guys in that position due to now you see more and more teams focusing on the run?
You know, that's a great question, George. I'm not sure. We'll have to see, how the game continues to evolve. It seems to be cyclical, right?
Yes.
Like maybe it's starting to go back a little bit to some of the run game, and I think part of it is there's so many teams playing split safety defense, trying to take away big plays and manage that end of the game that maybe some people are now leaning a little bit more towards the run again.
Yeah, going back to my style of play, this is my type of game now. It's finally coming back.
That's your style, George?
Yeah, that run the ball. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Love it.
indeed. We're getting back, getting closer with all this running we're seeing. And hopefully those linebackers will be getting bigger as well, because I think that's going to have to change in order to go back to combating the power runners that we're starting to see come out throughout the league now.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is Dwayne Carter and Austin Johnson on the defensive line. How would you deter their play from last night?
Well, I was impressed that they handled the reps that they had, at their fingertips there. We played 80 plays roughly on defense, so their involvement in the D-line rotation was important for us because of the heat as well. So that was all important. I think they're both growing in our scheme, and I thought Austin was rather active last night, and Dwayne did some good things as well. So we'll continue to work, and their development's going to be huge for us.
And last but not least, Casey Toohill. I've been trying to watch this guy, and he seems very good against the edge. He's not making the tackles, but it looks like he's making plays that's assisting on the defense. He's a guy that you don't really notice on the tackles, but especially last night, it seemed like he held the edge very well. Your comments on his play?
Yeah, I would agree. Casey's been a great addition. Tough, smart, team first guy, played special teams. He's one of those guys that makes a big difference, right? Even though some people may say his role is a small one, that's pretty cool when a guy who has that type of role makes a big difference. And he did last night, playing physical. There were some edge runs that he was stringing out, and playing really physical at the point of attack, and gives tremendous effort. So we love having him here.
Yeah, I noticed that last night.
Absolutely. There you have it. The interview with head coach Sean McDermott. Tell him those small linebackers is not going to get it done in today's National Football League, because the league is starting to go back to running the football. You only had 2 300-yard passers the first week of the season. You didn't have that many more the second week. Now we're already into week 3. You see teams running the football. And what do you see? These smaller linebackers leaving the field injured. Terrell Bernard injured early in the game down in Miami. Maybe you have a torn or he definitely has an injured pec. Don't know how torn or severely the injury is with him. We don't know we don't know how severe the injury is right now with him, with the young man. Hopefully Terrell Bernard can come back. But these big running backs, the New York Jets, you saw their big running back run all over New England the other night, because New England lost 2 of their linebackers in the game on Sunday, and it was just such a quick turnaround that they didn't have, those 2 guys couldn't play, and you saw how the bigger running backs was able to run over the defenders, the linebackers, as well as the defensive backs. Because you were basically, the NFL have switched to defensive backs, safeties playing linebacker position. That's not going to work in the National Football League. You heard Sean McDermott talk about, well, we know our plan. Hey, Sean, you gave away Tremaine Edmonds, a bigger linebacker at that time. I'm sure deep down inside you wish you had Tremaine Edmonds playing your middle linebacker position for the Buffalo Bills, especially at the way he's playing for the Chicago Bears in the last season when he played for the Buffalo Bills. But we got often injured Baylon Spector filling in. How long can Baylon Spector hold up? The Clemson star was an excellent college football player, but he seems to stay injured. Thank God he was able to make it through the Miami game. Let's hope he can play and have a healthy season, because this guy always seems to have some type of injury that keeps him out the lineup. Dorian Williams playing the outside. You may have to move Dorian Williams to the middle. You got some other options. Joe Anderson, you may have to bring him in off of the practice squad, the UB star. And that could actually be 3 UB players starting on the Buffalo Bills defense, which would be kind of ironic to see something like that take place. Joe Anderson could be at middle linebacker. You already have Cam Lewis replacing Teron Johnson as a safety covering the tight ends, which is Cam Lewis playing a hell of a job, doing a great job. And Jamarcus Ingram. Jamarcus Ingram is my guy. Man, this young man, when he first came in, you saw the potential. One thing that Sean McDermott and Brendan Bean can do very well, they can build their guy. They can keep guys and grow their players. The players they draft, they train them and they build them up into being good football players and getting them learning acclimated after 1 or 2, mostly 2, especially 2 years on the practice squad or playing sparingly. Jamarcus Ingram is ready to start, and he has been starting, and he's been doing a hell of a job. Had the interceptions in the last game. He had a breakup in the first game that ended the game against the Arizona Cardinals at the goal line when he deflected the ball away from Dortch. Keep an eye out on number 46, Jamarcus Ingram. The guy's a player. He could be working his way up to possibly a Pro Bowl opportunity because he has the length, he has the height, and the guy now has the skills of where he needs to be on the football field. And that's a tribute to the Bills coaching staff, coaching him up and coaching him to that level. Also, Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle out of Duke. The young man is huge. Man, I can see him being in the defensive tackle position or nose guard position. He's playing well coming in along with Austin Johnson, as head coach McDermott was saying there. He doesn't like to have rookies on the field a lot, but DC, as we call him, Dwayne Carter out of Duke University, number 90. Keep an eye on him. This guy is big. He's huge. He fills the hole. He can help stop the run. Ed Oliver, they're giving Ed Oliver some help now. Man, Ed Oliver is playing out of his mind so far the first 2 games of the season. He's having a great start to the football season. So it bodes well for this game coming up, Buffalo Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their physical football team, they like to run the ball. The Bills owed them something from that game last year, played on that lousy carpet over in London, England, where the Bills lost by Matt Milano, and a lot of guys' foot was sticking to that messed up turf they were playing on there in London, England, a year ago. So Bills Jags coming up Monday night, and it's the early game. They got 2 Monday night games. I don't know why they're doing 2 Monday night games, but the Bills game started at 7:30. So remember, 7:30, not 8:15, is the start time for the Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we have J-GILLZ. J-GILLZ, welcome. I see you've been having trouble getting in the stadium as well, but it look like you're making your way into the ballpark as of yet. Or never mind your whereabouts. Just welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. How you doing this morning?
Oh, man, good morning, Radman. Good morning to the Real Deal family. It's a special weekend of hope right here in Rochester, New York. We are so excited to be welcoming in Central State, Albany State, in what will be a phenomenal game that can be heard right here on the beat, 105.5.
That's right. We'll be on at 12:45. Yours truly, the Radman, and the legendary football coach of Rochester, New York, Jason Muhammad, the legendary coach from Marshall High School that had Ashton Bold, the first head coach to run the spread offense. And he ran, guess what? He not only ran it, he ran it successfully the year he had Ashton Bold as his quarterback at Marshall High School over there on Ridgeway Avenue back in the day, back in the 2005 through 2007 seasons. They were almost unstoppable because teams that wasn't familiar with the spread offense. He's now the principal at Monroe High School. And guess what? Terrell Cunningham, who played on those teams with Ashton Boyd back in 05 through 07 during that time period. He's now the head coach. And guess what? His son is the star quarterback. J-GILLZ, can you tell me about what you saw over there at Monroe High?
Oh, man, I saw Monroe continue their dominance that they've been doing over the last 3 years. Only 1 touchdown scored on them over the last 3 years. When I saw them beat my Wilson Wildcats 55-0, I was not surprised at all. I saw the offense make plays. I saw the defense make plays. And most importantly, I saw a well-oiled machine. They have a great leadership, great coaching staff. Shout out to Greg Hopkins and company, obviously, Terrell Cunningham, head coach over there, doing their thing. Just all around a well-oiled machine. This is a huge move for them. We're going from Class B up to Class A. And right now, they've dominated, and I'm not surprised at all. Good game last night against Brockport. And you just got to give the boys credit. That's the row. And, they just dope like that.
Wow. Beautiful. Well, that I'm glad it's working out. Well, glad they put it. And that was homecoming for the Brockport team. last night. Usually they don't have good, play a top team like a Monroe for their homecoming. That was quite surprising. Brockport did that, but it was a good crowd. They paid the price. Monroe put it on them. The punt returner Messiah, what's that punt return? The wide receiver, he took that punt back for the touchdown to really put the game away for Monroe last night. But it really put them out last night. That was another amazing victory by Monroe High School. We have a caller calling in. Call in, sir, to that 595-1055. I believe we have a caller, BacSpin on the line. I believe we have Coach Moody on the line. See if we have him on the line. See if we have him on.
We don't have a caller yet.
Oh, we don't have a caller yet. Oh, yeah, call back in, Mr. Moody. If you're listening to the show, he says he has already called. All right, great. So he should be calling back in. Another thing with the high school season, so we'll have that broadcast here live. J-GILLZ will be down on the sideline. Our sideline reporter is myself and Jason Muhammad to be in the press box here, as I am in the press box as we speak. And yes, that is sunshine. If you're watching via the podcast, yes, that is sunshine in Rochester, New York. It looks to be another very warm day here in Rochester. We've been in the 80s most of the week. It's been great weather. So if you want to listen to the podcast, please like, comment, and subscribe to the show. Like us, comment, and subscribe via the podcast, via YouTube. We appreciate the new people that have subscribed to the show. We please continue to subscribe to Real Deal Sports Show because we keep you up abreast of what's going on in the world of sports today. J-GILLZ, what's going on with your with the Dolphins? Can you give us an update on Tua? What's going on with him?
So, Tua Tagovailoa just got placed on injured reserve, so he's going to be on IR for the next 5 weeks. He's estimated to come back October 27th. But, Radman, one thing I wanted to say about the Buffalo Bills in this Thursday night game. Right now, the Buffalo Bills, to me, after canvassing the league, are looking like one of the most disciplined teams in the league, and I think that we owe Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane a lot of credit for that, losing a lot of leadership over the summer, but already having leaders in place to step up and do what they had to do. The Buffalo Bills to go on a short week after a tough game against Arizona, go to Miami and do what they did. Mind you, that was last week. Now this week is going to be a trap game. You got Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars down 0-2, but I definitely saw a well-oiled machine, and I think that that's going to bode well for the Buffalo Bills moving forward this season. I think that Coach McDermott definitely has gotten not as much credit as he deserves for being that type of leader. And so in my opinion, we got to start putting some more respect on his name in regards to the team that he's building over there in Buffalo.
Yes, indeed. You got to give Sean McDermott the credit that's due to him for building this team back up. A lot of new players on the scene this year, a lot of new faces, and already they're off to a very good start. And their theme this season is everybody eats. And so far, everybody's been eating. I mean, 9 different receivers the first game, 8 different receivers caught passes in the second game. They ran the football efficiently. And keep in mind, the Buffalo Bills, everybody's talking about the Detroit Lions having the best offensive line in the National Football League. Everybody having the best line in the National Football League. But the Bills are pretty good with their line. They have not been injured. They knock on wood. These same guys are back. Deion Dawkins, Mike Edwards, McGovern is playing move from guard to center. You have Terrence, and Spencer Brown on the right side. Man, they've been opening up keeping holes on the right side. I'm very impressed.
And Spencer Brown,
Terrence, and Spencer Brown
got paid
since the middle of last season. Those two, what's that?
Spencer Brown just got paid as well.
Oh, yes, he has.
Just got that mighty big contract. So we'll see how his play sustains over this season. You know, when they get paid, production starts to dip off a bit.
But so far, so good. He's been paid. He's had another surgery is the thing that gets me. To myself, I wrote in this week's Challenger Community News. And remember, this segment of the show is brought to you by Challenger Community News, West New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, published weekly. You can pick it up at most businesses in the community, around the here in Western New York, especially here in Rochester, New York. Challenger Community News. Pick up weekly, thechallengernews.com. If you want to go online and read it from online, thechallengernews.com. Or you can, if you want questions about sending articles, editor at thechallengernews.com. Send your articles, your press releases. We'll run those at free of charge in the largest weekly African-American newspaper, Challenger Community News. In this week's edition, you can read about Jason Muhammad. He's going to be speaking engagement over in Buffalo, New York tomorrow. You'll be over there speaking engagement there. There's a lot going on this weekend, talking about HBCU Classic, a lot of other fine events happening in the community. So check the Challenger Community Newspaper out each week. And in that article, I was saying they shouldn't have paid Spencer Brown because he had shoulder surgery this offseason. Last season he had a surgery. He came out of college with a bad back. I don't know, J-GILLZ. Do you think that's a wise move to pay somebody for down the road, giving them a 4-year extension?
Oh, absolutely not. When you talk about the Buffalo Bills, this is their problem. They always pay their guys, and then their guys lacking production. It happened with Dawson Knox. It happened with a lot of these players. So I just didn't think that was a wise investment, especially because they've drafted so well in the last couple of years on the offensive line. You got that backup center that y'all just drafted. I think he'll play a vital role moving forward. And I think that they could have definitely found somebody in the stacked offensive line class that is going to be the 2025 draft. So when I look at them spending that money, especially knowing that they were strapped with money already, and of course they're still paying that Stephon Diggs contract, I don't think right now is the time to spend on a guy like Spencer Brown. But Brandon Beane likes to give his guys his money, so we got to give them credit where that credit is due.
Absolutely. You got to give that credit where credit is due. But keep an eye out on that move. That's a tricky move there in the National Football League. And before we move into other sports, we got to go into baseball to talk about Ohtani joining the 50-50 club where no one else has ever been. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. He's over 51. He had another home run last night, stole another base. So he's like 51 home runs, 52 stolen bases. That's never been done in Major League Baseball before. Congratulations to Ohtani. He's the real deal on the baseball field. But keep in mind that some of these teams aren't playing. The team he hit 3, he went 6 for 6 against the Miami Marlins the other day. The Miami Marlins, 4 of their starting pitchers had Tommy John surgery. 2 in the preseason and 2 in the first month of the regular season. So 4 of their 5 starting pitchers are out with Tommy John surgery and won't be back until the middle or late of next season. So the Miami Marlins are basically a glorified farm team. They're like the Rochester Red Wings. They're a minor league team pretending to be a major league team because all of their pitching has been depleted. So you got to put a footnote. And some of these other teams, the pitching just isn't that great like it used to be in Major League Baseball. And our hats off to Ohtani. I mean, he's achieved something that nobody else achieved. But if you look at the guys like Barry Bonds, you take Barry Bonds' worst season, it's almost equal to some of the things that Ohtani has been doing in Major League Baseball. Take Barry Bonds' worst season, production-wise, and put him up there. Put Willie Mays, some of these guys, Put a lot of these guys to compare it to what Ohtani's doing. Hey, man, those are some great ball players as well. So is Ohtani the greatest ball player of all time? No way. He's a great player of this era, but no way. When we write the history books, look at the history book. Look what Barry Bonds did with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Take his worst stats and compare it to Ohtani overall, and you'll see what I'm talking about. One of the greatest ball players of all time, Barry Bonds. You got a lot with Willie Mays, outstanding, great ball players that have played the game of baseball. Congratulations to what Ohtani's doing now, but he's playing up against a lot of bum teams. Even my team, the Toronto Blue Jays, we got a lot of young guys up. We're almost a glorified minor league team right now with all the young guys that the Blue Jays have brought up. Pitchers, fielders, the whole 9 yards, hitters. So what Ohtani's done is great. And he's on a stacked team as well, the LA Dodgers. Man, I wonder would he have been able to do that with the LA Angels, the team he left from last season? Would he have been able to do a 50-50? Because the Dodgers, they don't got no holes. They got 9 all-star guys down there. And Mookie Betts, as soon as Mookie Betts came back, hey, man, it's full steam ahead, man. They very seldom lose. I mean, they blowing. I mean, they scored 20. Who beat somebody 20-2 in Major League Baseball? J-GILLZ.
That's crazy. That's a football score right there. That's a
Yeah,
football
20
score.
to 2. Man, and then they beat somebody 14-6. Oh, come on, man. But I mean, I give the guy his due, but come on, man. That's just not what that's just not right in Major League Baseball today. So we got to really put it into where it's supposed to really be. What's going on with it? Let's go, and we're gonna move to your segment. Well, go ahead. Say what you got to say, J-GILLZ.
Well, I think, Ratman, when you look at it, I think it's more so of the fact of who Otani is. You know what I mean? You got this Asian man coming here, not speaking a lick of English. And I think that a lot of the times when you talk about the parity in the league, we don't see that often. So whenever you're the first to do something, which Oshani is the first of his kind to do, being an Asian American, I think you had to put respect and perspective on that. And I think that's what a lot of these media are seeing because, as you said, man, back in the Negro Leagues, this season that Otani's doing is nothing compared to what we saw in the documentary The League with Sandro Page and all those guys back in the day. So I think it's the fact of who he is, his heritage, and it's just good to see because we haven't seen that before.
Absolutely. We haven't seen this before. It's in this era. So don't get overrun and don't forget our past. Because, hey, we always got to remember the past as well on some of the great ball players that have come through and played. And you mentioned the Negro Josh Gibson, those guys. Man, his records, you put his records just now getting in there, and he's one of the top ball players of all time. So, hey, let's put it where we are, and we're going to go from there. Otani, congratulations, Shohei Otani. Congratulations on making your own club, the 50-50 club, and going and smashing, going over it. But hey, there's some other great ball players that have played the game. You're not the greatest ball player of all time. And let's move into WNBA playoff action. This segment of the show is brought to you by award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance. Stop by 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Call 585-360-0094. Give her a call. Check out Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. She'll let you know what's going on and save you a hell of a lot of money. If you want to save money on your auto, home, or health insurance, life insurance too, call Miriam Rivera because she got Progressive, she got the Farmers Insurance, she has some other insurance she can fit you into. It just depends on your own personal situation. So give her a call 360-0094. And now we're gonna go to the host of Zeal Talk and co-host of Real Deal Sports Show, J-GILLZ, to tell us about the WNBA and the WNBA playoffs that we have coming up. It's hard to believe the end of their regular season has just come to an end. And now we're going into the playoffs. Right, J-GILLZ?
Oh, absolutely. And what a great season it was. A historic season for the WNBA. Man, I'm telling you right now, this season will go down in history. But I think that these next couple seasons, before this league I ain't going to say it's going to nosedive, but players are putting their money and their time into their own selves, and they have their own league that they're starting to call Unrivaled, featuring Paige Becker's, not Paige Becker, I'm sorry, but Breanna Stewart's league. And it's a lot of these WNBA players, some of the best WNBA players are looking to start their own league that's going to bring in their own money. So the WNBA better be on notice, and they better start playing their players because right now they do have a plan. But right now, in this historic season, unfortunately for me, the WNBA season was over once my girl, Angel Reese, ended up having that wrist surgery, ended up shutting down the season. And, my Chicago Sky ended up just getting hit with the injury bug. Shanity Carter, Camila Cardoso, all of those ladies, those great ladies of Chicago, weren't able to finish the season. So ultimately, the Atlanta Dream was able to capture that 8th seed, that coveted 8th seed, and you got to give the shout out to them. But you got the New York Liberty taking on the Atlanta Dream. You got the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Phoenix Mercury. You've got the Connecticut Sun versus the Indiana Fever, which I think will be the exciting matchup of the first round. Caitlin Clark going up against those Connecticut Sun and those great players, Alyssa Thomas and company. And of course, you got the Las Vegas Aces versus the Seattle Storm. And I think right now we're off to a clinch start on it right now. Right now, my pick to win the WNBA championship, I'm going with the New York Liberty. What I've seen when I saw those ladies in person, play that great game against the Chicago Sky back in July when I was covering that game, Jonquel Jones, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Esco. It's just too many weapons for them. They have the defense, they have the shooting, they have the size, they have the skill set, and I think that's going to be my pick to win it this year. My runner-ups, I'm going to have to go with the Aces. The way I saw Asia Wilson just do her thing this season, his historic season, 1,000 points. She's a clear-cut MVP. I think that she definitely has something to say about that. So we might be getting the matchup of all time. This is looking like the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Golden State Warriors, as much as the New York Liberty and the Los Angeles Aces matchup in the finals. But I think ultimately it's going to be a good one. But definitely watch out for the first round matchup, Connecticut Sun versus the number 6 Indiana Fever. And of course, I got to highlight real quick. I got to put the league on notice. Everybody stay tuned and watch out with this WNBA season for my girl Olivia Miles out of Notre Dame. She is going to be a beast, and I think that she'll definitely be a top 3 pick, and I'm hoping she can land with the Sky and give them some of that playmaking ability that the team lacked all season.
Wow, that's what you calling your shots, man. Hey, I'm interested in that mutiny. Sounds like a mutiny going on. Maybe a new league starting up. Yeah, the WNBA, NBA not gonna like that.
Unrivaled. And they just added another franchise in Portland. I wasn't too hipped on Portland. I thought that they should have stayed a little bit more East Coast. Not too many WNBA teams in the East, other than Connecticut and the Liberty. But I thought a Toronto team would have been perfect for the league right now, get into another country and do that thing. But they chose to go with Portland. But they, like I said, they better watch out because Unrivaled is on the way.
All right. And we have a guest I see just walked away from the camera there. I see Eric Rose is of the Rochester Sports Complex is here in the building. We're gonna get right back to you, J-GILLZ. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, Eric Rose. How you doing this morning?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. And yourself?
Great. And your facilities here, the press box, all the amenities here is working well. The Wi-Fi is working great. Beautiful sunny day. Look like we were talking a couple of days ago. Hey, everything's falling into place for this beautiful afternoon here at the stadium.
Right now, it doesn't look like anything better could happen. I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day in Rochester, New York, and the teams are here gearing and getting ready to play. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon.
Yes, indeed. And what should the people know about coming to the stadium today? People from the in-town, we got out-of-town people coming as well as local. What should they know about the complex?
Well, the sports complex is located on 460 Oak Street. Parking today is going to be a challenge. A lot of the streets are closed coming into it, but you can park at any Rochester parking facility to get shuttled in, or you can Uber. I think Uber would probably be the best way to get in here because you're going to get right to the gate and right out of the gate. But other than the logistics for parking, everything is set and ready to go.
Yeah, I've been smelling barbecue since I walked through. That cat behind the scoreboard, man, he blowing all kinds of smoke, man. He got smoke. I'm looking over there now. I might have to go over there after the show just to maybe get a quick rib sandwich or something over there, man, because they were throwing down when I got here. That was like 7:45.
Yeah, I mean, we have probably 11 vendors that are going to be, serving up the best that Rochester has to offer. And like you, I smelt the beef cooking this morning. I don't even eat red meat. But I was like, man, I would love to be smacking my fingers at 8 o'clock this morning on some of that prime rib they got over there cooking.
Yeah, I saw that rib. I said, oh, man, that's a prime rib going down. You saw what I saw then. Yes, indeed. So you have 11 vendors, plenty of space. It's spaced out. So when people get in here, they definitely have to come in with a clear bag with the items. You can't bring any big purses or big bags in, correct, Eric?
Correct. Yeah, similar to any stadium facility, there's going to be precautions coming in, no outdoor food, no, you're going to have clear bags, no liquids, etc. I think all information is posted on the city website, cityofrochester.gov /HBCU Classic.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to come out and letting everybody know about it and about the Uber, Lyft. They had the parking garages. They can park there and take the shuttle buses over. But like you just said, the Uber, Lyft might be the best way to get in and out of here today.
Yep. it'll be the best way. You know, if you're from Rochester, hey, you know the on-street parking. If you know the neighborhoods, there's on-street parking. You know, very close to the stadium. But you know, I would suggest take the Uber. Take the Uber.
There you go. There you have it. And thank you so much. And also, people can rent this facility out. Is that correct? That people can use this, Eric?
Absolutely. We have a professional soccer team that utilizes the space. We have 5 Section 5 football teams that utilize this space. We have Section 5 soccer, Section 5 lacrosse, youth soccer, you know, any sports activity that you're looking for a large venue, come and see me.
All right. And how can they get in contact with you?
You can get in contact with me at cityofrochester.gov. That's Eric Rose, ERIC .ROSE at cityofrochester.gov.
Excellent. Thank you for taking time. I know it's a busy morning for you here, right here on the complex with one of the biggest events to hit Rochester, New York, the Baldwin Richardson HBCU Football Classic. Thank you so much for taking time out of the busy schedule. Eric Rose, the director. He's the main man that runs this complex. Thank you for coming on the show this morning.
All right. You guys have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Yes, indeed. J-GILLZ. Now we have it going pretty well here. We had our next caller who was going to call into the show, and we're going to have that guest come up in about 2 minutes, and then we're going to move right into our football picks. We're going to move into our picks of the week too, right after that, because it's beautiful. The field looks good. The marker, the 40-second clock is running. 35-second clock is up and running. The markers are all on the field. The field's been groomed. The seats, everything's been cleaned off. Everything looks, it looks immaculate out here, the field, from what we saw earlier in the week. It looks great. They've been Eric Rose and his staff. Yes.
We got a caller on the line. You're live on the air. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Coach Ed Moody. How are you? From Rochester, Alberta, and Section 5 board member of the New York State High School Football Coaches.
Yes, Coach Moody, welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. And can you tell us a little bit about some of the changes that you said are coming up with Section 5? You're a board member. You're one of the few African-American board members on Section 5. Can you tell us some of what's coming up down the road with Section 5?
Well, the biggest news that we got for Section 5 is we've got a lot of young new ladies in the spring of the year that are playing flag football during the spring season. So that became a big new comer to our community. And we also had our Bishop Kearney girls team of last spring become the New York State champions for the first annual year for the New York State championship of it.
Wow. That's flag football has become a big sport, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot more young ladies are getting involved in the athletics of football and coaching, also refereeing, and participating in this flag football. And we have some NFL owners that I know are meeting in probably the next few months. They're going to have some conversations about piggybacking some of these girls' flag football programs, moving it into maybe a professional atmosphere.
Okay. Oh, wow. Really? They're coming up with possibly a professional atmosphere. That is great. So that J-GILLZ, any questions for Mr. Moody?
Absolutely, Coach. How is the Virtus High School? You know what I mean. Now that you guys are really into plays and doing your things, what are some of the things that you guys are doing just to push the kids forward with their sports programs?
Well, the thing at Virtus forward on different avenues to put out there for young men to have extra activities in sports athletics and moving forward into the volleyball piece, maybe down the road as a sectional. Currently, the basketball and football and outdoor track is the big motivating pieces of sports athletics.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that sounds good. So a lot more girls' emphasis coming up with the with Section 5. Any other changes that you see would maybe a major change in Section 5?
As far as on the football side of it, I just think we're trying to see if we can go to the clock instant review like they're doing in college football in the NFL. I know we're starting to utilize it during the actual state games, but now we maybe want to see if we can do it on the regional levels and then put it into the sectionals. But, you know, when you have a review where a referee calls review and a coach can maybe get 2 challenges per half or something like
that. Exactly. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great to get that. And I hope it wasn't delay the game, the longness of the game, and keep the game fluid. You could get, if that goes into passing and have that type of concept, that would be great. That would be great.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And anything for these city schools? Do you think they'll be able to combine some of these city schools, for especially football, to make it, especially schools like Edison that really don't have a large number, and some of these smaller schools combine into one school? Do you think that may happen down the road?
Yeah, if I had my say, we'll have a West Side and East Side programs, and maybe a couple privates like Aquinas and McQuaid, and just do 2 charter schools. That's kind of 15 years ago, to make it competitive, to bring a better, greater competition in the football play.
Exactly, because schools like Wilson, even though that's J-GILLZ alma mater, they just can't field enough quality players to put a team together anymore. It's just not like it used to be. I agree with you. Wilson, Edison, it should be, like you just said, a team on the west side and a team on the east side.
We got to put into account, fellas, is the recruitment. You know, I know over at Aquinas, they have a lot of great players. Some of those great players come out of the city, come out of Gates. You know, if they were playing for their local places, it'll be a lot better. But we got to put that recruitment into account. So
you're right. Some of the Aquinas guys would be at Wilson or Edison. You absolutely. That's a very valid point you bring up.
Even Gates Charline. So
yeah, but
yeah, that's so cool. And to let you guys know, look at all the talent that you city of Rochester that play for urban suburban schools on that program. You can imagine the matchups and things that's coming out of Rochester City versus all these suburban teams or private teams getting hit from Rochester.
Exactly. That's an awful lot. But Mr. Woody, we're going to get back to you. I'm going to have you back on in the coming weeks, back on the show, because today we're a little bit pressed for time. We got another segment coming up, but you're absolutely right. That part about with the girls segment, we definitely, and with combining some of the East and West football teams, that would be an excellent idea. And with you on the board, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about some of the other sports as well, basketball, and we're going to get that in. Probably next week, we'll probably have you back. And I appreciate you coming on Real Deal Sports Show. And I'll see you out here at the stadium later today.
All right. Let's go HBCU Classic, Rochester. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Take care. All right, J-GILLZ, we got to wrap up and get into the final segment with the upcoming games. We got to get these upcoming games.
But before that,
yes.
Right, man, I think we got to highlight a Buffalo senior, Adam Nunes from South Park High School, community school, had a breaking record, 593 yards on 26 carries. I mean, phenomenal. Wow. Phenomenal. All in one game.
Wow, that's a lot. That's an
7
awful
touchdowns.
lot.
7 touchdowns.
7. Wow. That's an awful lot.
This was over Iroquois. So senior Adam Nunes rushed for 593 yards on 26 carries, breaking the New York State single game rushing record. He scored 7 touchdowns, including runs of 80, 65, 36, 61, 81, and 93, and 41 yards, 7 touchdown runs. He leads all of Western New York with 864 rushing yards on the season with 12 touchdowns. And mind you, right, man, we only in week 3?
Yeah, week 3. Yeah, I'm looking at his stats. I'm looking at this young man from Adam Nunes from South Park High School. It's South Park High School, everybody. Anybody out there from Buffalo knows South Park always seemed to field a good team back in the day. And now with the gentrification, a lot of people, because that used to be very few African Americans used to be out in that market, but now they are out there. But Adam Nunes, senior Adam Nunes, that's unbelievable. I'm looking at this, 26 carries for 593 yards. That's unbelievable. Thank you, J-GILLZ, for pulling up that information. Unbelievable. You're the star of the show. We must congratulate Adam Nunes, senior at South Park High School. J-GILLZ, that record, that's like Otani's almost, man.
That's Otani levels right there.
Yeah. Oh, him and Otani, man. Oh man, that's unbelievable. Hopefully we can get this young man on the show in one of the upcoming weeks of the high school football season. Yes, indeed. Adam Nunes, congratulations, indeed. And we're gonna move into the picks of the week, J-GILLZ, and we got one to pick 'em coming up on Sunday. Steelers. Remember, hey, my drop dead lock last week, 2 weeks in a row. I'm 2-0 with my guaranteed winner, the Vikings, pulling the up. I said the Vikings would win the game outright, take the 7 points or 6.5 points as it was at kickoff. The Vikings. What did they do, J-GILLZ?
They beat him down. Yeah, that was a good call.
Thank you.
Excellent call.
So it's time to win y'all some money. Steelers at home facing the LA Chargers, who stayed on the East Coast all week. Chargers come in with a banged up quarterback with a high ankle sprain. But that doesn't matter. Look like head coach Jim Harbaugh is running the football. This is what I was saying earlier. He's one of the teams that's running the football way more than he's passing it. Who you think going to win this one?
Man, I'm rolling with the Chargers too. I'm liking what I'm seeing by the Chargers. I think that they've got a great ground game. Don't forget, they took that left tackle, that historic left tackle, and with their first round pick, when they could have went receiver. And you pair him with Rashawn Slater, from who they took in the first round a couple years ago. And yes, J.K. Dobbins has been staying healthy. That ground game has been phenomenal. I'm going to roll with them.
Yes, indeed, and it just shows you that how J.K. Dobbins was good with the Baltimore Ravens. If he can stay healthy, he's a great running back. He's outstanding running back. Hopefully, we hope and pray that he stays healthy. Nice young man. He's been through an awful lot, and the man just keeps coming back. And every time he comes back, he plays better than he did the last time before his last injury. So hopefully, if he stays healthy, man, that bodes well for the Chargers. I like the Steelers in this one because I think the defensive front is the key. I think they'll put pressure. If they force Herbert, if he plays, or if the backup plays, I think the Steelers front line, defensive front, will put enough pressure on them. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Take the under. It may be under 34 points in this game, under 34 to 38 points. But I think the Steelers will pull it out with a field goal because they've been winning with field goals. As long as the quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, and he hasn't done it so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Steelers to barely win it. This may be one of those games, 18-17, 17-14, something like that, 12-10. I see this game possibly being, especially if it's rain in the air. If it's going to be raining, there's a good chance of rain tomorrow on the East Coast. So keep an eye on the weather forecast. In Chicago, how you like that one, J-GILLZ?
Oh man, so we got you said Chicago.
Yes.
Versus
Chicago. Pick them, Indy or Chicago.
Man, I'm gonna roll with the Colts on this one. Anthony Richardson, he's proven to be, having a much better season than last season. And when I look at Chicago, when I looked at that Houston Texas game, I'm liking what I'm seeing with the young rookie Caleb Williams. I just think that he's still a rookie. He's got to get it all together. Keenan Allen still ruled out. They haven't really linked up with his tight end, Cole Kmet. And I think that, him getting more chemistry with one of his tight ends will be a lot easier. You got a rookie receiver in Romo Doom.
Okay. So you like Indy in that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts.
All right, I'm too with the Colts. Minnesota, Houston, another pick 'em. I like Minnesota. I think Brian Flores' defense will slow down C.J. Stroud. Team's starting to figure him out. I like Minnesota. How about what you take on that one?
I still can't trust Sam Darnold. I like what I saw last week, but I'm rolling with the Texans, man. They got too many weapons now. You talk about chemistry. That's the team. That's chemistry. You got Joe Mixon. Give me the Colts. Give me the Texans in that one.
All right, we'll skip Cleveland Giants. That's no watch TV. I think Cleveland will cover the 7-point spread over there. Philly and New Orleans. I like the over 52 points in that game. New Orleans, Philadelphia at New Orleans. Philly getting the 3. I think New Orleans right now, they're on a roll. They'll probably win the game outright, but I like the over more than either team in this contest. Your take, J-GILLZ?
I'm going with the Eagles. That was a tough loss against the Atlanta Falcons Sunday Night Football. So I think that Jalen Hurts will bounce back. He had a phenomenal game, in my opinion. Saquon, with that bad drop, he's going to come ready to play. So I'm taking the Eagles on that one.
Okay, my guaranteed lock of the week. Arizona, Detroit, take the over. Over 52 points. I think it's going to be an old-fashioned shootout between Arizona and Detroit. Detroit's defense is going back to the way they played previously. They're giving up a lot of yards. Arizona gives up a lot of rushing yards. I think the running backs will do well for Detroit, and Goff will do well also. Take Detroit. I like the over in this game. You do what you want on the pick 'em. Maybe Detroit is the better team. Obviously, I think Detroit will possibly win the game, but I'm guaranteeing the over. Take the over in that contest. Your quick take?
And in the injury bowl, I know it's a division rival right now, but I'm rolling with the 49ers over the Rams. The Rams this season starting 0-2. They're every position right now is basically done with them. I think that even though the 49ers are nicked up with George Kittle, Debo, McCaffrey, I just think that Kyle Shanahan typically, has their number, and especially a down year with those skills positions being so hurt. I'm rolling with the 49ers.
All right, BacSpin, welcome in. How you doing, BacSpin?
I'm good. How y'all fellas doing today?
Oh, great.
Man, BacSpin, it's an exciting one today. It's an exciting one today.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait to come down there and enjoy the game with you fellas.
Yes, indeed. Come on down. It's great. Man, that smoke. I'm looking down there now at that end zone with the scoreboard end zone. Oh, man, that barbecue is this, man. I got the window cracked a little bit. I can smell it down here. Hey, they got smoke on the other side of the field. I can see it over on that side. Hey, they about to get started with the tailgate. Take the tailgate. Come on down, everybody. Enjoy the atmosphere. They got the fraternity flags up and waving up high. So, hey, it's all about this is going to be Divine Nine and the whole 9 yards today. Central State hosting. They're the host team playing against Albany State. Albany State out of Albany, Georgia. The Rams with the nice, colorful uniforms. Should be a very good game. Looking forward to the contest later today. And I wanted to ask quick question for you, BacSpin. The new album by LL Cool J, The Force. What's your take on that album?
I think it's grown man music. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that LL's back. It's been a long time since he stepped into this arena. He's been doing his acting thing a lot, but I'm happy. I'm proud of the album. It's like I said, it's grown man music. It's a great, refreshing taste on hip hop. And he's not trying to be something he's not. He's just, keeping his bars upper echelon and letting, the youth know that you don't have to be a certain age to stop rapping. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm loving that Force album right now.
Exactly. Oh, excellent. All right, all the people that I knew you would give us a good take. I gotta listen to it. I haven't heard it yet. Look forward to it. And
the joint he got with Eminem, that's my favorite. That's my favorite one right there.
That's your favorite one?
With Eminem, yeah.
Well, damn, I'm looking forward to hearing that one, playing that one. And I want to thank all the people that are on the podcast. Clifford Radney, the Miss Mike, Big Mike, and the Fanatic says LSU favored by 21. Look like he's saying they're going to crush UCLA, take the 21 points. Not take it, but they'll cover the 21 points versus UCLA today. Man, it's a shame UCLA is not back up to their prominent over and under over 57. Look like he's telling you to go take the over 57 in that one. So, hey, enjoy the games. You got good college action, and you got great college action right here in Rochester, New York. And the Battle of the Bands, BacSpin. What I saw at East High School yesterday afternoon with that Albany State band, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. The Battle of the Bands, that's one of my favorite parts of the halftime shows at these HBCU schools. So I spent some time down south, so I got a chance to really, soak it up and see what those bands are really all about. So I'm definitely excited for the Battle of the Bands, Radman.
Absolutely. So are we. We're broadcasting the game live, starting for 12:45 p.m., kickoff at 1 o'clock. If you can't make the game or you're stuck in traffic, getting over here, whatever, tune us in on 105.5. Myself and Jason Muhammad, our play-by-play announcer. We're gonna be covering the game live, broadcasting the game live right here on our station, the Beat 105.5. Want to thank Lester Pace, James Wilson for this opportunity to broadcast the game live.
No doubt. Keep it where you need it. Real Deal Sports Show. We're going to check back in with you guys actually in a little bit, because normally it'll be next week, but nope, it'll be in a few hours. So y'all hold it down over there at that Complex Stadium, man. And we're going to get right into the Back in Time Mix Show. All right?
All right.
Keep it where you need it, Rock City. Back in Time Mix Show is on the way right here on the beat.